Say hello to the people, Phil.
Take 3.
The third time's the charm. And welcome back to After the Hype, our review show for games that we play on H.Y.E.P. Our
H.Y.E.P.
H.Y.E.P. Have you ever played? Our game show that we do over at twitch.tv/2pennygames, in which one of us shows the other one a game that they've never played before.
Yeah, every Tuesday at 1 p.m. Central
Time. Yes, sir. For example, you had never played Metal Gear Solid, so I showed you the first 3 Metal Gear Solid games. I had never played Kingdom Hearts. You showed me Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2. It was a good old time. Had a lot of fun.
Yeah, you
some
did.
Some ups, some downs, and then we just kind of go through. There's a whole series of them. We're slowly putting them up on youtube.com/2pennygamescast. They're making their way there. It's a lot of footage. There's a lot of editing. We're working on it. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Tavin. Hello. And this last week, I played, for the first time, Jak and Daxter, the Precursor Legacy. Now, Phil.
Original release for the PlayStation 2 over in 2001.
2001. I got it right here, actually. Jak and Daxter Precursor Legacy, first released December 3rd, 2001.
Squeaked it right out there.
But I'll say, man, it did pretty well right out the gate, bro.
Yeah, man.
It said, pulling from like Wikipedia, they're listing sales about 1 million copies by 2002.
It's that Naughty Dog energy, bro.
It's that Naughty Dog energy, bro. So like 28 days they've selling 1 million copies. Great work. And then by 2007, the only other stat I could find is 2007. In the U.S. alone, it had sold about 2 million copies. I imagine it's not selling a whole lot. I mean, worldwide, it sold 1 million by 2002. I imagine the drop-off was pretty severe. Japanese aren't crazy about 3D platform mascot character type stuff outside of like Mario. And stuff, but like they're not like Western type shit.
I thought you were saying like 3D platformers. I was like,
no.
I mean,
no.
They do
mostly Westerner.
Yeah,
Western made stuff.
We talked about like how I don't know if we talked about it on the podcast, but for fucking Ratchet and Clank Going Commando, it was one of like it made it to like the top of Japanese charts, like for 3D platform, or I guess it was technically a 3D platformer still. When they lean more into the third-person shooter vibe
by Going Commando, yeah. Anyways, sporting about a 90 on Metacritic. We played the HD version.
Yep.
It came out on PS3, is on PS4.
I
played it on PS5.
I couldn't tell you when it was released.
Man, it's something like that. HD collection came out February 7th, 2012.
Oh, okay. Well.
Anyways, Phil.
Yeah.
You are a fan
of
that there Jak and Daxter. You showed it to me.
Played that series as a child.
What's the breakdown? What's the history with Jak?
I played it for the first time at my old babysitter's house for the first time because her kids had it. And the first thing I remember from that game is the fishing mini game that we played.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's that first memory of it. Okay. Yeah. So how does Jak and Daxter stack up for you now?
Still pretty solid, pretty up there for me. Like as far as like the whole series.
Okay.
The original game is not that high, but 2 and 3.
2 and 3, big fan of 2 and 3. Okay.
I didn't play 3 until like much later. Like I think I was at least like 14, 15 when I played 3.
Wow.
I played 2 when I was like maybe 7 or 8.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So,
excuse me, I'm so sorry. I just had some mac and cheese. Jak and Daxter Precursor Legacy. My first time playing, I thought it was okay. I thought it was all right. It's a nice little collectathon 3D platformer. I think the level design is mostly pretty solid. I'm not the biggest fan of how Jak feels navigating the world, but it's perfectly functionable.
How'd you like that there was like almost like nearly no loading screens like the entire?
I did like that.
Time.
I like that.
It's very
that
fluid.
Quite a lot. They really like. I mean, is there a lot of loading screens in this? Well, I guess yeah. Like games like Ratchet and stuff, you got full loading screens. I mean, they hide it with like moving with like in Ratchet and Clank anyway, with you like flying the ship around. Yeah,
like,
but that's a loading screen. It's just a more entertaining loading screen than we're used to more in the modern era.
I'll tell you, they keep the very fluid thing throughout the entire series. Like the only thing that they'll hide it by like having a door unlock.
Oh, okay.
Like, because you'll be like stepping into a door and it'll have like gears unlocking.
Oh, okay. Classic Naughty Dog, hide your loading screen, stay immersed in the world type shit.
Yep.
Excuse me. We're gonna see a lot of that coming up in Uncharted 2.
Nathan Drake.
But But yeah, I thought the game was solid. I liked the combat fine enough. There's a health system in this game. Yeah. It was like 3 hits and then the gain 50 to get a hit back.
Yep.
Yeah. And you can have a bonus 50 little green orbs to have the bonus 4th hit.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I thought all that was fine. I thought for the most part, everything difficulty-wise was fairly balanced. Never felt out of my control. I never felt like, fuck, man, what am I supposed to do here? Did think that ice level was pretty tough, though. That ice level definitely had a
definitely
bit
a
of
roadblock from my
spike.
childhood, I'll say.
Definitely a spike for me, here in the modern day as well. But yeah, I genuine like I had a fair time with Jak and Daxter.
Yeah.
We finished. What was our percentage at? Something like 79, 78?
Pretty high.
Yeah. So we didn't do everything, but we did a good
Fair shake
chunk, fair shake. Enough to where I could probably jump in if I wanted to and clear
Get the plot.
clear
I mean, the
everything
plot
out.
is literally 100% of the
just
game.
100% the game. Yeah, I imagine so. And I'm not adverse to doing that. But it's just going to be one that sits on the back end. I really should go into
it. We skipped an entire level.
We did skip an entire level,
like a little marshlands that you do in like that second hub world.
Ah, okay. All right. Neat. Did not like the, what do they call it? The Zoomer?
Zoomer, yep.
Zoomer, the motorbike thing. Didn't like that really at all.
You actually hop onto a person born after 2000.
Oh, okay, great. This game came out in 2001. That's hilarious. Anyways.
Zoomer.
Yeah.
Haha, funny.
Funny. They didn't plan that. No, but I didn't like the Zoomer at all. I thought it was way too floaty. I thought it didn't turn corners quite tight enough. I never felt fully in control. It was a little too, like, it felt like being in an ice rink and just on some skates and I'm just sliding everywhere.
I understand your perspective coming on it from new. I mean, sure, I'm used to it.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm not adverse to it at all.
Sure.
But...
yeah,
it comes with time.
It's just one thing that didn't work for me. The more like linear segments where it was just like, hey, just get to the end as fast as possible, whatever. Those worked better for me. And
Yeah, those are like
obstacles and stuff.
That first one that you do from like jumping from the first hub world to the second one.
Yeah,
like the little
lava,
plains or whatever. That's like iconic for me in my mind. Like just
really?
running through it like that. It's just so cool. Like having like a little speed boost and like bumping into the bump. I fucking bumped the microphone there.
Yeah.
Talk about bumping into things.
Hey.
I bump into those like little balloons to cool yourself off.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Yeah,
I like
all of that was better for me. I enjoyed those more. It was when it was like, here's a whole level dedicated to the Zoomer, and you're just gonna kind of,
You're referring to Precursor Basin in that second hub world, where you had to like chase down the moles, you had to chase down the flying lurkers, you had to do the rings, you had to do the plants.
Rings.
You hated the plants.
The plants
that.
I was not a fan of, but the plants like were whatever. The rings really were killing me. I was just like, I just cannot get around, and I have to look for these things.
I remember that being another like slight roadblock from my childhood.
I mean, it's a little bit of like
for some reason
just learning the path that they want you to take, but it's just
what was interesting to me is you had less trouble with the blue rings, but you had more trouble with the first one, the first set of rings, the purple ones.
For me,
it's the reverse.
It's the reverse for you.
Yeah, I always remember having trouble with the blue ones as a kid.
Interesting. Okay.
Because it's meant to be like a step up.
Yeah, got you. And then whenever it's like just like a straightforward path of the Zoomer, that was better. I felt more in control because I could feel like I could stay in one of 3 or so lanes and work my way around. I like the cool down your bike with the balloons mechanic. I thought that added a level of complexity to it that kept it engaging and kept it a little more like edge of your seat type feel, like you're really into it. And it's really those elements are really the only bit in Jak and Daxter where I see that and I go, this is more like we talked about in Crash. This is setting groundwork for what Naughty Dog will become, and with games like Uncharted and Last of Us,
which is like how like they're getting feedback from when these games are released, how people respond to like certain controls and like,
and it's also them
gimmicks.
It's them laying groundwork of figuring out who they are and who they like and what they specialize in. So like those Zoomer speed joints that I'm talking about that I was more favorable towards. like those lay groundwork in my mind for what becomes the set pieces in Uncharted. And I mean, you kind of saw a little bit of it in Uncharted 1 with
talking your speedboat shit.
Yeah, the speedboat and the Jeep and shit. But like in 2 and in 3 and a little bit in 4, it goes to a different level. And this is like that real this is that precursor. No pun intended. This is the precursor to that, to where you see it and you go, oh, this is the thing that they choose to expand on and move forward with. Wasn't the biggest fan of Jack's movement in the world. Specifically, I didn't really care for his double jump. It felt too stiff and too. I didn't feel like I could get any movement with it. It just felt like this is gonna be. It sounds weird to say, but it just felt like a little bit of an extension of the first jump, which in definition that's what a double jump is. But it didn't feel double jump-y enough for me. Which I'm like 90% just putting that on personal. Like,
you didn't feel like you were really double jumping in the real world, like everyone can actually do.
100%. No, but yeah, I mean, yeah, it just didn't. I don't know. That second jump just didn't quite do it for me. But overall, I thought level design was solid. I actually really enjoyed that final world.
The Citadel.
Yeah, I thought
it's just a bunch of platforming.
Yeah, I thought the level design in that area specifically was super tight and super fun to do.
It was kind of what's interesting to me is going back and looking at this, like the precursor stuff is kind of like steampunky. It's like
a little bit
in like a way.
It's got a touch of it going on. Yeah, for sure.
I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting. Going back and looking at it like that.
I enjoyed in comparison to the first Crash Bandicoot game. Excuse me, I keep burping. In comparison to the first Crash Bandicoot game, I did enjoy more of an attempt. They put more of an attempt into putting a narrative into this game, which I did enjoy. I didn't find this one too compelling or engaging, but I enjoyed that there's characters that I can recall, like Kira and who's wizard dude
Samos. He's a sage, not a wizard, Tavin. He's a sage.
And then Jak and Daxter. Jak, I'm hoping, becomes less of a cardboard cutout.
He's a silent protagonist.
We
know how much you love silent protagonists, Tavin.
It's fine. It's just make a character. Just give him a voice. It's not that big of a deal, guys. I don't need to be in his shoes or whatever. Like Daxter though. Daxter I found annoying as fuck.
I don't know why you hated Daxter so much.
He's grating on the ears to
He's
me.
you, Tavin!
He's
you!
Everything he says, I'm just like, shut the fuck up.
Say goodnight, Jack!
Yeah, was not a fan of Daxter at all. I like the spin move is just Jack grabbing Dax and just fucking knocking the enemies around with him.
It might look like that, but it's more Daxter's like holding on for dear life as Jack spins wildly.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Oh, it totally looks like he's grabbing him and using him as a weapon.
I can see how it might look like that, but it's like him holding on to Jack's neck and like him like getting flailed
around.
Yeah,
because what's the other? There's a dash move in this game, yes, or something.
Yeah, it's punch.
The punch. That's what it is. The punch is him holding on for dear life. I saw that.
Yeah. So the spin is Jack literally like doing like a midair split and like holding his arms out and spinning. That's literally it.
Oh, it totally looked like he was using Daxter as a weapon. Okay.
He does a jumping jack in the air and there's jumping jack, and then fucking spins in the air and like with all of his limbs. He does like a windmill,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I need to go
like
back
a helicopter.
I need to go back and rewatch it because it totally looked like he's using Daxter as a weapon.
Yeah.
Which would have been really funny to me. But if it's just
I just like the image of like, without the motion of it, just Jack jumping and like having his like limbs like fully extended.
Right. But yeah, I mean that's mostly what all I've got to say. Levels ranged in quality. There were some that I really liked, some that I was just like, okay, this is fine, whatever. Didn't like pretty much anything in the penultimate hub world, the lava hub world.
One.
Didn't really care for most of that.
I love minecarts.
Yeah, those minecarts. What a time sink. And then
just that over and over and over.
yeah, things like the spider cave and the snow. I actually didn't mind the snow level in terms of design. I just found the difficulty spike.
It's a very large difficulty spike, especially since like that's the first time they even introduce ice as like a platform for you.
Oh
to,
yeah, and the
like,
ice sliding is
and,
not. I did not
yeah.
like the ice sliding in this game
and then
at all.
they throw those infinitely spawning enemies at you from the snow. And,
Yeah, that wasn't fun.
Yeah.
Why did you do that,
Yeah.
Naughty Dog? But yeah, no, I mean, it's a solid game, man.
Yeah, man.
It's cool.
It's good.
It would be enough to be like, okay, yeah, if a sequel launched from this, yeah, I'd probably play that too.
Well, all it does is it keeps the bare bones as far as like gameplay, and it adds guns, and it turns it from a 3D platform into a GTA.
Oh, the second one you're talking about. Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah, cool. I'm totally down with playing that.
Yep, all of the movement is pretty much the same.
Yeah.
Just adds guns, more focus on vehicles.
Oh, also because we kept talking about, or I kept talking about it on stream, so I guess it's worth mentioning here. Not necessarily a negative, but I thought checkpoint placement was very strange in this game. Sometimes it was like you're placing them in weird places too frequently. Sometimes they're too far apart.
If we had a camera thing on me, it would be zoomed in on my face. It'd be smiles in Jak 2, like the subtitles, smiles in Jak 2.
But it's not like they weren't like bad. They were just weird. It would just be like, really, I got a checkpoint for here, but not this other case.
I'm so excited.
Sometimes it's just strange. It's just strange sometimes. Anyways, yeah, there's that. But yeah, it was solid.
I kind of want to just jump straight to Jak 2.
We can, whatever. That's your choice.
Yeah.
For when we're doubling back to Uncharted 2 this next week.
I keep wanting to call the games Nathan Drake.
Yeah, they're not called Nathan Drake. The 2 of the 4 titles have Drake in the title.
Yeah. Drake's Fortune is the first one.
Drake's Fortune and then Drake's Deception in the third. Oh God.
Is that what the third one's called?
Drake's Deception, baby.
That's a terrible title.
Oh, and you know what? We'll get it there. No, I like all the Uncharted games.
You said you like 2 the most?
Yeah, 2 is my favorite. I go back and forth between 2 and 4.
2 and 4. That's what Connor was saying.
Yeah, it's a toss up of like.
We had a little chit chat because I was riding in his truck when he was helping me move my desk.
There's also there's an element to all of. Well, it's an element in just video games in general. But it's especially relevant for Uncharted with context. Like how games were structured changed after Uncharted 2. And it's something now that you look back on and you go, this is fairly I don't want to say cookie cutter, but this is fairly standard. But like it's a moment of like context of like, we'll get there. I'm getting in the weeds. I think a good side by side example is when we eventually played God of War 3 and then comparing that to Uncharted 2. Because like God of War, also a franchise known for its big set pieces and big imagery stuff.
Yeah.
But you're not like in it like you're in it in Uncharted 2. Yeah. Anyways. Beside the point.
Also mentioned on the stream, but like we're gonna go through a lot of Naughty Dog.
We are. Yeah, it's a Naughty Dog season right now for us, I guess. When you're one of these legacy developers who's been around since the 90s and pretty much.
I mean, we jump between Insomniac and Naughty Dog.
Naughty Dog, man, they kind of ran the gambit there on PlayStation consoles for a long time.
Yeah.
I'd say Insomniac less so during the PS3.
Oh, for sure, less so. I mean, all they have to focus on is Ratchet.
Ratchet, and then like Resistance, which was popular enough, but like never really popped off. Like Naughty Dog did with Uncharted and Last of Us, of course. But I would say Ratchet is, in my mind, Ratchet is the king of 3D platformers, and I think because he's still relevant today shows that.
Yeah, and Insomniac has Ratchet, and then they have the really bad Spyro games, which we don't talk about. That's Jak and Daxter.
Anyways, Jak and Daxter. You know what, Phil? Solid game.
Yeah.
Not mad at it at all.
Yeah.
Enjoyed it for the most part.
Fucking banging your head against that final boss.
The final boss?
Yeah.
You felt? I felt more banging my head against Lava Dude.
Oh no, you were definitely banging your head against. Oh my god, against Claw. Yeah, for sure.
Oh no, yeah. Now that I think about it, you're right. I did have a moment of like, I know what to do, and I'm just not executing on it.
Yeah.
In that final boss. Now that I think
it was both of those. Yeah.
Yeah,
for sure.
So that's fair. Yeah. I did like the bosses.
Yeah. Got the
Pretty much.
plant, which was barely a boss.
I'm struggling to even remember that. It's been 5 days.
It throws
since
out
we
like
streamed
the
now.
spiky little aphid dudes that will like lose their spikes. You have
Oh,
to hit those,
yeah,
and then they, like,
that
reveal
thing.
it's
Yeah,
like
and you
a
gotta
claw.
hop up the leaves, and then
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that one was.
That's
fun.
like a mini boss.
Yeah, that was this is whatever. But like, yeah, the
Hit it 3 times,
full-time
it's
bosses, I enjoyed. Yeah, I enjoyed all the bosses in that. I can't believe we skated by and almost didn't talk about any of them. But I think
fine.
that
I mean,
I genuinely enjoyed I enjoyed the atmosphere in the world of Jak and Daxter.
it's got a nice little world.
And then the level design was solid enough to back that up, and then the platforming is again solid enough. I think as of right now, just in terms of franchises, it's sitting closer to the bottom of Naughty Dog games for me. That may change with 2 and 3, and
I think as far as the franchise goes, I think it's going to only build up for you.
It might, yeah. And then as we continue with my experience with Crash, we'll see where it lands. But, and then it's also, Uncharted's got a touch of nostalgia for me because I've been playing Uncharted since I was fucking 12, 13, something like that. So there's a touch of nostalgia with Uncharted with that. But yeah, just to directly compare, which isn't really fair because they're 2 different types of games. I did like Crash better. I felt Crash handled better. I liked the platforming in that better, and I felt the level design was overall tighter than that. But that's not really fair. The 2 different types of games are going for 2 different types of things.
Yeah.
Sure, they're both 3D asterisks platformers. Even though Crash is more focused on putting you in a
Course
lane,
clear, yeah.
course, putting you in a course, and you're running to the end, whereas Jak is more of like a explore this world,
Collectathon,
and,
yeah.
So a little bit of apples and oranges in there when we get down to like nitty gritty of what is a 3D platformer. But I didn't hate my time, so it was a good time. It was a good time.
Yeah,
solid.
Yeah,
I don't know, 6.
All right,
5, high 5, low 6.
That's kind of where I'm sitting for the first Jak game anyway. I'd probably say 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So solid game. Interested to see more, play more. But Phil,
Yeah.
if you don't know, this After the Hype episode goes live Tuesdays, 8 a.m. YouTube.com/.
You know what, Tavin? I did know that.
Oh my god! And if you're listening to this on Tuesday, ideally we're probably live right now, probably with some Uncharted 2. What is that one called? Among Thieves. Among Thieves? Honor Among Thieves. No, Among Thieves. That's what it's called.
Are you thinking of Sly?
Sly 3 Honor Among Thieves. That's what that one's called. You are right. You are correct, sir. Anyways, but no, Uncharted 2 Among Thieves. We're going to play it. It's going to be a good time.
Yeah.
It's Naughty Dog season. Fuck it. Let's. Why the fuck not?
That's one naughty dog.
Until then, thank you so much for listening, everybody. That was Jak and Daxter, the Precursor Legacy. And until next time, probably next week, because I can't imagine Uncharted 2 taking us that long. Phil, say goodbye to the people.
I'm out of here!